Hello and welcome to another episode of the Flashback Cartoon Hour. I'm your loving bald host with the most from coast to coast, Nick Rocket Boy Lascola. And today with me we have
the baddest man in the whole damn town, Lenny Brown.
Welcome back, Lenny. And today we have a special Flashback Reacts episode for you today. We're kind of taking a quick little break from our normal episodes because me and my loving wife just recently had our firstborn baby, little baby Nico. And Kelsey's actually doing me a solid and watching him while we take time to record this. So shout out to my beautiful wife, Kelsey. That being said, Flashback Reacts, tell them what we're reacting to today, Len.
All right, y'all. So today's Flashback React is a show called Rocket Power. Personally, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, or animated TV shows of all time to be exact. This series aired from 99 to 2004. And like I said, definitely, in my opinion, one of the top three best animated cartoons probably of the era.
It's crazy. Yeah, when you think of Nickelodeon, like you always think of big names, Rugrats, SpongeBob. Like, you got to put Rocket Power. Everyone our age, no matter whether they were a jock, a nerd, any kind of person loved this show growing up. And it was something that could tie everybody together no matter what. Everybody loved Rocket Power, whether you were an Otto or a Twister or a Squid or a Reggie. You know, they had something for everybody that you could see yourself in as a character. And it was awesome. So in this TV movie was the first of 3 TV movies that the series actually would go on to have. This was considered the season finale of season 3.
In a world down under, one team is put to the challenge, but only one can become Prince Waikiki-Kamukau. Get ready for speed. Get ready for danger. Get ready for freestyle roller disco. Otto, Reggie, Twister, and the Squid in their first full-length TV movie, Race Across New Zealand, a Rocket Power movie. Sunday at 8, only on Nick Gas.
Although I should point out that Paramount Plus, for some reason, just does not have it. Me and Lenny had to do some deep diving to find it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so how this starts out, if you guys don't already know the premise, this starts out in a town called Ocean Shores, very similar to the realistic town of Venice Beach.
Yeah, so Ocean Shores, it's in California, though, we should say.
Yes. Well, obviously. Venice
That's
Beach
where the gang lives. And we find out that they've been trying to save up money, doing a lot of helping out Raimundo, the dad. We're just going to go off that if you clicked on this, you probably know Rocket Power and you know the characters. But Raimundo, the dad, has been, and his kids and his kids' friends, they're all extreme boarders. They love skateboarding, surfing, doing all the extreme.
Right.
And Raimundo is like a retired extreme boarderist or whatever, and has a restaurant with his best friend, Tito. We'll get into him. But so they've been saving up and now they get into a competition. And that's where we start off with the movie, is that they're counting money, trying to figure out if they've made enough to go to the trip.
What's all the hullabaloo? We made enough tips to cover the entry fee for our team in the New Zealand Junior Waikiki-Kamukau Games.
The Waikiki what?
Waikiki-Kamukau. It's a word from the Maori people of New Zealand. It means out of this world.
It's this really cool race where 6 teams compete in 4 different extreme sports races, and the fastest team wins.
And the fastest person is crowned Prince Waikiki-Kamukau.
Or Princess Waikiki-Kamukau.
So the competition is essentially we could say a multi-sport event competition.
Mm-hmm.
Takes place in all different types of elements.
in like terrain and with different numerous things. It's not just skateboarding. It's not just biking. Like you got to do it all. It's like a whole like triathlon of things to do.
Perfect triathlon of different sports. I mean, you have stuff like kayaking in there. You're doing activities like trying to throw buoys on a pole. So there's a lot of different skill-based and physical-based activities that go on.
It reminded me a lot of The Challenge for you real world road rules fans out there. Me and Kelsey love it. Me and Lenny used to watch it back in high school. Very, very similar. It's like they all went to a final, but they were on a team fighting other teams to win that final. So it's like different obstacles and things along the way. But I thought it was cool that they were able to stay on a team together too, because this was my first time seeing the movie. Lenny's seen it before, and it was a lot of fun.
Great movie. But yeah, I mean, essentially, they're trying to save up enough money to go. Like the movie title says, this is based in New Zealand, so obviously, a little further away from good old state of California.
Yeah, the typical place of hijinks of theirs. But you find out that Raimundo once competed in this competition.
Right.
And he lost to this rival guy.
Closest race I ever ran. Unfortunately, I came in second.
Oh, here we go again.
It was me and Chester McGill, the local favorite. We traded the lead at least a dozen times. On bikes, in canoes, and in the freestyle roller disco. Then came the final leg. Downhill skiing, my best event. Coming into the flat stick fork, I made my move. Went right, Chester went left. Cheerio, bud!
That was nothing really. Thank you very much.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that Vegemite sandwich.
I should have won that race. I don't know how he did it, but I know he cheated.
Miguel, I forget what the dad's
McGill.
McGill.
You're right.
I'm
pretty sure it's Nigel McGill.
Nigel McGill. Okay.
Yes.
And then his son Theo, it becomes like
yes. Which we'll explain later.
Yeah, he becomes Otto's like in turn his rival because their dads had a rivalry.
Right.
But they show up and they see all the other teams there. So they also have like Team Australia, Team New Zealand, and Team Iceland that they gotta go through. And each of these teams have different players with different personalities, different rivalries to be made.
Right.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about New Zealand?
So New Zealand is, some people could argue this, very similar to Australia, hot climate, different animals, different exotic animals, crystal clear waters, and weird accents.
Awesome accents, if you ask me.
But anyway, and this region also is known for having kind of the best of both worlds. Obviously, the crystal clear waters, great for surfing, great for kayaking, great for beach type sports, and then you got the mountains, which snow pretty heavily and are amazing for your snowboarding, skiing.
And it was great seeing the different characters like react to how they were. See how like how the Squid would react to being in New Zealand, and like Twister was all, pun intended, twisted around. He couldn't be. He's like, wait, they do everything. They don't know they drive on the right side and the left side, and they're trying to explain to him about how everything's kind of opposite, but not really. But he's like taking it too literal, so he's like thinking everything from there is backwards, and he's just funny the whole time. I love Twister.
What's the matter? We're driving on the wrong side of the road. Relax, Twist. In New Zealand, they drive on the left.
Really? So people here think right is left and left is right?
No, they just... Yeah, that's what they think.
Man, I didn't know living down under made you act all backwards.
Yeah, gotta love the comedic relief that Twister provides, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Freaking man.
But yeah, so tell me about Team New Zealand.
All right, guys. So Team New Zealand, they're the home team, obviously. So you got 3 members of this team. You have Kia. She's a strong female athlete on the team who ends up becoming a friendly rival of the Rocket crew. You have Tyson. He is I would say probably one of the best friends of the top athlete on the team. Pretty skilled as well. Definitely a rival competitor. And then obviously you have the captain of the team, Theodore McGill. Essentially New Zealand's Auto Rocket.
Theodore McGill.
Auto Rocket.
Yeah. Your dad lost to my dad in the very first race. He's famous round here.
Yeah, well, Otto's gonna be famous for beating you and your team.
Aha. So you got yourself a good mug.
That's right. I'm a good mug. I'm a great mug. I'm the best mug Otto's ever had.
Twister? In New Zealand? Mug means Shoobie.
Yeah,
So-
like just as skilled, a little bit cocky, and he forms the rivalry.
Dude, by the time this race is over, you'll be so down under you won't know which way is up.
American trash talking. I love it. Well, say at the finish line.
And he really kind of takes on the rivalry of Raimundo and his dad, and it becomes like, you know, the dads are kind of reliving their rivalry through these two, which in turn tends to create a little bit of friction between the rest of the team, and not only Otto, but now Raimundo, who's like kind of supposed to be their coach in a way, right? Him and Tito.
Right. And don't forget about Theodore too. Throughout the race, even though Theodore wants to impress his dad and show that he can keep the title like around the preferred neck the probial neck of the family, at the same time he is trying to prove himself to everyone else that he is the best pure athlete out on the course.
Yeah, you know, he that he actually has the skills, that he is number one. And you find out, you know, rivalries start kicking up. We start meeting the other teams. We have Team Australia. They have members like such. They have team member Prince, who is cocky and full of swagger, known to be like really into trash talking, and you know that gets right under Otto's skin. Then you have Sly, who's also his teammate, and you know they're not. You know, the other teams are like important, but it's really like the main like rivalry between Team Rocket and Team Zealand. I just like that they give these other guys a personality too, enough that like everyone wants to beat them and become number one. So with that being said, I guess we would go into Act 2, where the race really starts to pick up. So, you know, they've started going, they started doing the challenge. I know that Otto, the Team Rocket wins the first 2 races, but tell them a little bit about it.
All right, guys. So the first event ends up being a bike race through the mountainous environment. However, competitor host ends up bringing him up the hill to a very secret location. The secret location happens to be the real start of the race.
Kia ora! You Tamariki ready for the race? Follow me.
But doesn't the race start here?
Nah, we have a Mihara Tonga for you. A little surprise to keep it interesting. Race doesn't start here. It starts up there with the Zorbs.
And they get into these we could say foam-like balls.
Zorbs are like big plastic bubbles, so moving is simple. Lean forward and roll. When you reach the bottom, you will exit your Zorb and continue the race on your bikes. Questions?
Yes. Are there medical professionals down at the bottom of the hill?
Come on, Squid. Don't be such a squid. It'll be a blast.
Yeah, it looked so fun going down these things. And they kind of have to roll themselves down like a little ramp and get to where they need to go. But it looks so fun. Lenny, you said you've done this before, right?
Yeah. Actually, there was a little sports park down, I'd say maybe about 20, 30 minutes away from here, where you could do the dry version, or you could hop in one that had water, and essentially, you just kind of hold on for dear life, and you get tossed around like a hamster, and it's a pretty riveting experience.
Yeah, watching everything they did on this in this movie was awesome. It especially because like out of everybody on the Goon Squad, I really wanted Lenny here for this one because we're both the real boarders out of the two. I surf and he snowboards, and so he kind of rules the mountains and I rule the sea. And it was just like, this was perfect. Everything we saw them doing, we're like, oh, I want to do that if I wasn't 32 and 35. Our backs were like fucking destroyed. Having kids now.
Yeah, I mean, true.
I got to save up all my strength just to get up on the board still.
Like all strength, just to get up in general. He's becoming an old man.
A
kid, man.
True.
Kids don't wear them.
But so they win the first couple of competitions. Everything's seeming real good. It's the symmetry's happening. They're really getting along well. The team's working together. Otto's tunnel vision kind of helps him win with the teamwork, but the only problem is Raymundo is just like, yes, Otto, go get him, Otto, and he's not giving Reggie any credit, and he's definitely not giving Twister or Squid any credit at all, even though it's the whole team has to finish these races for you to be able to win.
Go, cousins! Otto, what a move! That's the way to do it, son! Great job! Coming around that turn like that.
Awesome! Nothing to it, Raymundo.
Check it out, guys! Our combined times put us in first place! Way to go!
You guys really took it to him! Alright, guys, let's grab our gear and head back to camp.
I'll get you junk, Otto. You gotta be wiped after that.
Thanks, dude.
Keep it up, Otto, and you'll sweep this whole thing.
Keep it up, Otto? What about us?
He don't mean nothing by it, cuz he's just excited. Everybody did great.
Yeah, thanks to you and Twister, our team won the first race.
Yeah? Well, it seems the only win Raymundo's interested in is Otto's.
As the race goes on here, we see Otto and Theodore basically, competing for first. But what Otto doesn't know is that
things have been happening. So in between each night of the race and when everyone goes to bed, we see a figure. You don't actually see who it is, but you see that they've been going in messing with things before each race. So they're getting told the wrong way on the map and end up when they're surfing getting caught on the sea dune, the sandbar, because they were told that the sandbar was on the opposite end. And things like that. All of a sudden, their skateboards being messed with, or little pieces are falling off things, and the things are happening, and they're not putting two and two together yet. They don't really know that someone's fucking with them.
True. And then obviously we'll know towards the end. But going back to the race, they're going down the mountain, trying to compete for first. Otto takes the lead. He's bolting toward the finish line.
Mm-hmm. And we should mention that this is the third race. Again, there's numerous races on different days, but this is the third race. So 2 races gone well. Teamwork was in high effect. They're working together. They're taking wins. All of a sudden, things are getting messed with. Now they're skateboarding down the hill, and something happens to Otto's skateboard that causes it to break down because someone had fucked with it before.
Right.
And then this is where the conflict really blows up, and tell them why.
Right. So Basically, they're writing down on their boards, and what ends up happening is essentially Twister's board. This is the third competition. Twister's board breaks. Basically,
No, it was Otto's board. Remember, Otto's board broke, and then he wanted Reggie's board. Reggie said no. Twister gave him his board, and then Twister waited for Sam to show up to fix Otto's board. And that's what caused the whole big, and that's what caused like the whole big friction, the big blow up, is because, you know, Reggie's been boiling up because Raymundo's been giving Reggie all this attention in between every race. He's like, yeah, Otto's winning this. Otto's number one. And so when Otto's board broke, he turned to Reggie and he said, give me your board. And Reggie's like, no, dude, I can win this too. Like, I'm not going to give you my board. I'm going to go do that. And then Twister, being the fucking solid G that he is, was like, listen, you take my board.
You all right?
Reggie, let me use your board.
What? No way!
Come on, Reg, give me your board. You can wait for Sammy to fix mine.
Look, despite what Dad may think, you're not the only person in this race who can win it.
What's Dad got to do with this?
Nothing. Forget it.
What are you guys doing? The race is still on. Let's go, Reg. Sammy will take care of Otto.
Enjoying your little tea party. Come on, Reg, give me your board.
Gotta go, Rocky boy.
Reggie!
What is going on out there?
Here, take my board. I'll wait for Sammy, okay?
And I'm going to wait for Squid, who has all the, like, he has the pack to fix the boards on the fly.
Right.
The only problem is when Squid shows up, he ends up giving Twister his board, and then he looks in his bag and pieces are gone. So not only did someone mess with the skateboard, they stole the backup pieces too.
That's true. Yep.
And so tell him what Squid does. He pulls some MacGyver type of shit, which was awesome.
Yeah. So basically, before the festivities, Sam had gotten this cool looking, you could say like artifact from the competitor host, basically bringing good luck to whoever wears it.
Don't be such a squid. It'll be a blast.
Squid? Tawiki.
Huh?
Tawiki, the giant squid. The most powerful creature in all of New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. This is the club of Chief Coupe, the only Maori bold enough to battle the giant squid. It will give you power and confidence.
Cool. Thanks, Tutupu. Tawiki.
And, you know, since he didn't have the like axle for the board, he was like, wait a minute. I have this artifact that looks like an axle that I could use. And this guy right here freaking takes a rock stone that he found, nails that in there, puts the wheel on, and man, this guy starts cruising down this hill.
Dude, I have to admit, so, you know, growing up, Twister was always my favorite, and I've been rewatching a ton of episodes, as I'm sure you have too, and I still love Twister, don't get me wrong. I just didn't realize how cowardly he is, and sometimes even Squid comes in more clutch than Twister, but the different things that Squid was doing in this movie was phenomenal. He was keeping up on the skateboard. His snowboarding skills were amazing. Just watching him swerve through the competition, I was like, dude, he's not just a good goalie, which a lot of people think when you're like, oh, that's Squid, he's the nerd one, he's the worst of the bunch. But like, he honestly gives Twister a run for his money for his skills and usefulness. Very true. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all useful, and Twister has the video skills, but I mean, Sam's brilliant, dude. He can hack houses and stuff. He can do just about everything Twister can.
True. Yeah, I'm in.
Super solid. He comes in clutch in this movie.
He does.
So Sam comes barreling down after fixing the skateboard.
Right. And basically what ends up happening, Reggie ends up winning the race. And Otto gets pissed because, the team is, yes, trying to win the competition, but Otto is trying to win that crown. He wants to become Prince Waikiki-Mukau and, take that for his dad, since he got cheated
Yep.
in
So,
the, last
his
race.
rivalry with all the other teams is big, but he's already got this huge rivalry with Theo now, and they're going neck for neck. And the way we should say is, yes, it's a team versus team thing, but each individual player has points rallied on their individual scores too. So he wanted the points instead of Reggie, because Reggie won that race and he wanted the points so that he could be closer to beating Theo. And that's where everything blew up. Then Reggie starts calling him out. She's pissed. She calls out Raymundo for favoring him. And she's like, this is ridiculous. I don't need to apologize for not giving you my board, which they seemed like they were going to mend things up at one point. And then it just turned into oh, no, dude, I forgive you for not giving me your board. And she's like, I wasn't supposed to fucking give you my board, dude.
Listen, Otto, I'm sorry about...
Look, Reg, don't worry about it. You don't have to apologize for keeping your board in the dirt board race.
What?
It's over, okay? Let's just forget it.
Get a clue, Rocket Boy. I was gonna say I was sorry about your wheel. As far as my board goes, I'm not sorry at all.
Okay, fine, Reg. If that's the way you want to be about it, forget it.
Any of us could win. It's a team thing. But, this is classic Otto with his intense rivalry.
Oh, yeah. Otto.
And, and this is a huge chunk on Raymundo, too, because he should have been able to, see this out. He knows how Otto is,
Right.
And he kind of caused it. He kind of pushed him to it with igniting the old rivalry he had with McGillis.
Right. And I mean, and we get it, as I'm sure as a father, you want your kids to do well. Especially the one who happens to really excel in certain areas of life.
Yeah.
But
and I don't blame him. Your rival's kid is now facing your kid. It's easy for that rivalry to get reignited again. But, Otto is the kind of person who really needs to be held back, and you need your coaches to see that. I mean, Tito's on this shit all the time, but Tito was just so obsessed with getting the Vegemite as a B story. That was his whole job. And every time he came close, it was like Winnie the Pooh and Honey. It just always escaping his grasp by either a bird taking it away or something. Those birds were hilarious, dodo looking birds. But okay, so after the skateboard, what happens after that?
So after that, basically,
they enter the helicopters because up comes your favorite portion of the race.
Yep, the snowboard competition.
Oh, they did surfing too, right? They did surfing.
Surfing was before snowboarding.
Yes, it was.
And this happened to be obviously since they're from Ocean Shores, surfing is one of their favorite sports. This is something they really excel at. So going into it. They thought they were gonna ace this,
but the team at this point was pretty fractured, pretty angry at each other, and that's when it was what should have been the easiest thing for them to win ends up becoming a loss and a wipeout, and they don't make as many points as they should have.
Right. Yep. Well, what ends up more also is that while they're cruising, Reggie gets in the lead and she is about to win the race. But obviously, once again, Raymundo only concerned about Otto because he's the one that excelled the most, and he wants him to become Prince Waikiki Kamukau. So he's yelling out, "Why is Otto down? Why is Otto in last? Why is Otto not in first?"
And this is just burrowing into Reggie's head, because she's someone who also needs, that affirmation too,
Get up! It's all right, bro. He had a good lead. He can still make good time. Yes! Hey, brother! Look, check out Reg. She's in the lead. Come on, Otto! You can still do it!
Unbelievable! Maybe this will get Raymundo's attention.
The unfortunate part is that, she sees this and she says all right, let me see if he sees this. And then she bails out right before the finish line and just kind of gives him the dust stare. and you know,
Your team's basically done at this point. How you gotta really work together. You know, she officially calls out Raymundo.
Yep.
And he's very dumbfounded by the whole thing. But
Yep.
you know, the one thing about Raymundo is he does realize when he makes mistakes.
Anybody sitting there?
Nope.
You know, New Zealand is the first place in the world to see the sunrise.
Oh, fascinating.
I heard you get up. The race doesn't start for a few hours.
Don't worry, I'm sure Otto will be on time.
Listen, Reg, what you said about me, you're right. I wanted Otto to... I mean, this whole time I've been...
Giving all your attention to Otto?
Yeah, but Rocket Girl, I didn't mean to. I mean, you're amazing, and I didn't mean to...
To completely ignore me?
Yeah. I guess this thing with Chester and me losing and like father, like son, and I wanted... You know, I was...
Using Otto to win the race and get back at Chester?
Yeah, because it's you and Otto, you're both. And I could never... I mean, I did, but I didn't mean to...
Play favorites?
Yeah, I didn't mean to play favorites. I'm sorry.
Terrible prep talk giver, though. Like, he
Right.
tried to go talk to Reggie and apologize. I personally think, you know, he was just kind of stumbling over his words. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. Wrong. No, me. No, wrong. Sorry. And then, you know, Reggie, also being a solid G, ends up taking the apology. And then her and Otto have their big moment because, like, the team comes together and they're like, guys, we are not going to win this if we don't get our shit together. You know, Otto was calling Twister names. He was insulting Squid. And then it came up to the big I'm sorry moment. Everyone felt bad for lashing out at each other. And, you know, I'm sorry for this. Squid, I'm sorry for this.
Why don't you just leave her alone?
No, wait, Twister. He's right. It is my fault. I was trying to get back at Raymundo, and I blew it for the team, and I blew it for you, Otto. I'm sorry, okay?
Thanks.
Listen, guys. We're not just another team out here. We're friends, and that's what makes us better. So if we can't get that back together right now, this whole thing is gonna be a bust.
Attention, please. The helicopters will depart for the snowboarding race in 5 minutes.
What's it gonna be, guys?
All right. Sammy, I didn't mean to bag on you about the sandboard. And Reg, I'm sorry I harshed on you about the dirtboard and costing me the race. Twist, bro, sorry I called you a mug. You're not a mug. You're my bud.
Come on, guys.
All right, but...
All right, good. Friends.
Teams back together. We got the synergy. We got the morale. Time for the final race. This is where they load on the helicopters. This is where they go to the snowy part of the mountains. And I'm going to let Lenny take over because this is his time.
Yeah,
Snowboard time.
Oh yeah. So basically, you know, this is essentially the final event. You know, this is you know, they find out that the race isn't as shot after all. You know, Theo is only in the lead by essentially half a point.
Mm-hmm.
So really, what needs to happen is either Otto wins or Reggie wins and she ties.
Okay, guys, our team is in second place. But the way I figure it, if we can all finish with a good combined time, we can still win it.
Check it out, Rocket Boy. You could still win Prince Waikikamukow. Theodore's only got 1.5 wins. You win this race, and you'll have 2.
What about you? You got half a win. You win, and you'll tie for first.
As long as the team takes home the win, I'm cool.
Me too.
Before the race gets going,
Yeah.
Nigel ends up talking to Theo and he's like, I need you to win this, because he was alluding that even though he was rigging the game, that his son was still losing to them. And then eventually he was like, you know, like all those mistakes and accidents that were happened, right? Wink, wink, right? And then he told them about this shortcut.
Make sure you go left at the rock formation.
Dad, that's the longer way around.
Not if you cut through here.
That's out of bounds, Dad. That's cheating.
It's insurance. Like the Rocket Boy's wheel coming loose, or the windsurfing map with the sandbar in the wrong place.
Dad, you fixed those races for me.
Oh, I fixed it for us. So the crown of Waikikamuko stays on the head of a McGill where it belongs.
But Dad, I want to win the race on my own.
You're a McGill, and you'll do what McGills have always done. You will go to the left, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you find out that this shortcut was the reason why he beat Raimundo like 20 years earlier and stole the title away from Raimundo, which caused this whole thing to avalanche and escalade.
Yep.
And the son, Theo, doesn't want to do it because he wants to beat them with his own, on his own accord, with his own skill that he actually trained to do, you know?
Yep. But you know, Nigel is like, well, you're a McGill, and either you take this path or, you know, you're not in the family.
Yeah.
And so race starts. You know, think they're going chill.
The Sam's looking at the maps. They're working in tangent again. They're actually being a team. They're actually listening to each other.
Right.
And Theo is pretty neck and neck with them. And then Theo comes up to the point where the shortcut is. And he has this moment of, am I going to do it or can I beat it?
Right. And what ends up happening is obviously, you know, thinking about his dad, he ends up taking the path.
Mm-hmm.
Reggie ends up taking the lead after Twister has a wipeout, and
Otto.
Twister has a wipeout, and he takes Otto.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Twister,
When you're right, you're not
Twister has a
left.
wipeout.
Yep. Twister, and he hurts his knee.
And he can't continue to snowboard. So Otto is basically, you know, pulls the ultimate hero move and is like, look, Reggie, this is what needs to happen. All right. We can still win this race.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I have to give up being Prince Waikikamuko to help my homie.
Yeah.
So we can get down the hill so we can actually win.
My knee, I'm hurt.
Come on, Sammy, time to step up. Are you all right?
Can you board?
I think so. Ow, ow, ow.
Theodore's coming!
Dude, you gotta go. You gotta win Prince Waikikamuko.
No way. You're my bud. We're going down there together. Reggie, you go.
But...
No, listen. We've all got to finish, and I'm the only one who can bring Twister in. You have to go for the team. Go, Reg. You can do it.
Yeah, because he knew that Reggie could beat Theo with her natural skill, and he knew that he was the only one who had the skills to actually make it so that Twister was still able to make it down the hill. Because remember, guys, the only way you win the races is if all your members pass the finish line too.
That's right.
And again, this is where even Squid comes in handy, because like I mentioned earlier, this dude starts weaving and bobbing and just smooth looking too, going through all the competition. But so Otto and Twister, they're arm in arm, and they're both riding together, almost like skis at this point, but with snowboards.
Yeah, and they're you know, and they're killing it. And obviously, you know, Reggie goes ahead. She's heading down. You know, she goes right. She's heading down.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sees Theo, and she's like, "Oh my God! Like, how did he get down there so fast?" But you know. She catches up, you know, she's trying to win, you know, it gets close, and then Theo just by the tip of his board wins the race. However, you know, Sam and both Otto and Twister come in immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
So they happen to win the race, but Theo becomes Prince Waikikamuko.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
And, you know, it's everyone's kind of sitting there in defeat, but, you know, the Rocket Gang takes things in stride. So they're kind of clapping along, being like, oh, you know, he beat us. Good for him. You know, being good sports about it. Still bummed, but they're being good sports about it.
Right.
And talking about being good sports, Theo in good, like, can't take the medal in good graces knowing that he cheated. And he tells the people as they're trying to put the medal around his neck that I don't deserve this. I took the shortcut.
Sorry, mates. I can't accept this.
What? Don't be ridiculous. Of course you can accept it. You won.
I cheated. I cut away from the race at the Flashback Fork and took a shortcut through the woods.
Theodore, what are you doing? That shortcut has been in our family since I took it in the first Waukikamukau, and I...
And his dad like cuts him off. He's like, what are you doing? We don't talk about that secret. That's been our family secret for all these years, ever since I took it back and blah, blah, blah. And whoop, right in front of the microphone, in front of everybody. All of a sudden now we know Raymundo got cheated and the Rocket team also got cheated.
Right.
So they take the medal away. They give it to the Rockets. With that happening, both Otto and Reggie, with their individual points, end up getting a tie.
And they become the first ever Prince and Princess Waukikamukau.
Theodore McGill is hereby disqualified. So we have our first tie. The first Prince and Princess of Waukikamukau, Reggie and Otto Rocket.
And it becomes a happy story. You know, they ended up doing it. They did it for their dad. You know, everyone's happy. Even Tito ends up getting a whole bunch of Vegemite,
Like
a whole lifetime of it, and they bring it back to the shore shop back in California. Shore Shack.
Shore It's a Shore Shack guy.
Shore Shack at the Shore Shack.
And then obviously, you know, they open up the gates and, you know, Marge, who is, you know, the famous neighbor, she apparently has redone the shop.
Oh, yeah, because we should mention that she was left in charge of the shop. But while they were all away, she was like, no more is it just anyone in a bathing suit can show up. This is now a like button-down shirt.
No burgers.
Yep, made it like all fancy.
Yep, no chicken fingers. It was all like sit down, like
womp, womp,
vegetarian style food. And it was like, yeah, this is not what we signed up for.
Classic Marge.
Yep.
Ooh, sorry, new dress code. All gentlemen must wear collared shirts.
What? This is government issue lifeguard apparel.
Well, that's all very nice, but no collared shirt, no service. If you don't have one can be provided for you. There we are. Bon appetit.
Chiffon.
And so, you know, they got to fix it. And, you know, it's the big, happy, funny ending because they accidentally, I don't even understand how they didn't know, but they brought a bird back with them. Because not only would they have, the weird dodo bird, but not only would they have had to bring them back on the plane, but also in the car, which they were all in. And so at the end, he pops out and then steals the food away from Tito again. And then we have our classic, every cartoon, everybody laughs at the end while he's chasing it away.
Stop! Thief! Stop! Thief!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Rocket Power Race Through New Zealand. So that being said, Lenny, on a scale from F to A+, what would you rate this movie?
I'd tell you the truth, I'd rate it like 8.5, 9.
From F to A+.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
guys,
a 10 plus.
A 10 plus. No, this should be for me. I would say solid B plus. You know,
I'd give it a B plus. I would give it a B plus. I love Rocket Power. This was a different Twister voice because I've been watching most of season 1 lately, and it was a different voice actor, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. But overall, it was a great movie. I would, B plus, A minus in that range.
Yeah, definitely one of the better movies for sure.
Great movie. If you had to tier the characters, how would you tier them? I'll start off, and I'm going to just say, obviously, as always, no matter what this man does, Tito is S tier.
It's true.
I am a little sad that he became more of just like a side B character, just kind of doing his Vegemite thing. So I guess in that I don't know. I would say S tier would definitely be Reggie Rocket in this movie.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she came through as the basically the supportive member of the team, even though, we could say, her back was against the wall, with the fact Raymundo was trying to cheer him for Otto.
Yep.
She came through and,
but that knocks you down a few pegs.
Exactly.
I don't blame her at all for that. Who would you put in the A tier?
Tell you the truth,
Mm-hmm.
Sam.
Absolutely. I was going to say Squid. I was going to say Squid next because the things that he was pulling off in this, just reading the maps, knowing the lay of the land, being the guy to show up to fix the skateboard that goes down. And, I think he earns the right. He's not S tier because, again, I'll give that to Reggie. So right next to him, I'll put him there in A tier.
Yeah.
Going into B tier, I'll put Raymundo, Twister, and I'll put Raymundo and Otto because Twister, I do love Twister, but he was kind of the least important in this group. Although, no, I will put him in B tier because he rode down a mountain on one foot on a snowboard with like a broken leg. So he earned that for me too.
Yeah.
And then everybody else falls in those lower ones. What do you agree? Do you agree with that? So Reggie S.
Reggie S. Sam A.
Sam A.
And then obviously, everyone else.
We'll put in B. And then we'll put Tito and Twister in C.
Yeah.
Because as much as we love them, as much as they are the funniest ones, they weren't really that important.
No.
But all right, guys. That being said, thank you for joining us. Hopefully we'll get together soon and we'll do a full Rocket Power episode for you guys. Until then, check us out on the Flashback Cartoon Hour. We're on Facebook. We're over 10,000 strong for followers and likes. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. And we're on all Spotify and different podcast platforms that you think of. Look at the Flashback Cartoon Hour. Look at the Orange TV. And hey, that's me. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And remember the 3 golden rules. Fight pollution. Save planet. And as always, be good to yourselves. And roll out. Woogity, 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 woogity.